in Arizona, where she attended Arizona State University, and then moved back to Elkhart and has been at CCJ for 10 years, 6 of them as executive director, and she has a real passion for standing alongside people who need advocacy and really believes in equality for everyone. So she's going to talk a little bit about CCJ.
Thank you very much for having me. 2 funny things. One, if you are a vegan, plug your ears. But as we pulled up, my son got so excited that we're at Berkey because they let Bethany use this church during J-term for a meat class. And so he was so excited that this is where he slaughtered animals. So thank you. So thank you very much for having me. I've been with CCJ for a long time, and I'm always excited to talk about the work that we do at the Center for Community Justice. It's all based in the principles of restorative justice, and it's not only something that's done in the criminal justice system, but it's a way of life. The restorative justice principles teach us that in life we all do wrong. We get in conflicts and we harm one another to the point of just insulting each other, all the way to travesties like war. And restorative justice gives us a perspective and tools of a way to look at it that teaches us we're all in relationship and as a community. And those relationships matter. And that we have obligations to address wrongs whenever we do them with one another, whether we've harmed each other or we've been harmed. And so the way the Center for Community Justice makes that alive in Elkhart County is we do in 3 ways. We do restorative mediation processes or circle facilitation work. And so we get those referrals from the court, so we still do a victim offender reconciliation program with the juvenile and adult courts in Elkhart County. So whenever someone does a crime, the court can refer them to our office, the person that's done the wrong, and the victim of that wrong can come together and actively work that out. The victims can say what their needs are, and those that have been harmed can take an active role in making things right. We not only get those referrals from the court, the police departments, the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department and the city police sometimes send us referrals instead of sending things to the prosecutor's office. So they have the option, instead of criminalizing bad behaviors or low-level crimes, it can just be handled on a community level. And so that's some amazing work that we're excited to be part of. We also get referrals from schools, Elkhart, Goshen, mostly Elkhart, but we take referrals from all the school systems where we do mediations and facilitation. And then churches and individuals just call us, and we also can facilitate or mediate stuff that way. But we not only want to help people work through these conflicts and harms to heal relationships, but we want to teach people how to do this themselves. We want this to become a norm within our communities of how we interact with each other. So we have put a lot of energy now into actually just doing trainings. We have 2 contracts, like 3-year contracts with Elkhart Community Schools and with Boys and Girls Club of Elkhart, not all of them, just the Elkhart ones, where we take them through a process of how to function restoratively. So we start just year 1 teaching them principles of restorative justice and what it's like to think in that way. And then years 2 and 3, we actually teach them the tools of mediation and facilitation of circle and help them create a plan of how it's going to look best in their world and how to implement that. And we walk with them as they implement it and work out the bugs. So we do all sorts of trainings. Those are like big, long-term ones that we're excited about, but we also do victim offender trainings, we do conflict resolution trainings, and we do this for for-profit businesses, nonprofits. We just did some with all of the City of Elkhart managers had us do these, so because we want it to be a norm that to be comfortable with conflict and learn how to handle it healthy and work through it and function restoratively, because we all do wrong in life, which is normal. So that's one way that we're trying to make more systemic change in this community. And then the third thing that we do is really exciting is we work specifically with re-entry. 800 people a year come to Elkhart County, return from the Department of Corrections. And they not only need housing and food, jobs, all of those things, but they actually need support. Especially if they've been incarcerated for over 5 years, they usually are institutionalized. And so things that we sometimes take for granted, or common sense, or even just changes in society, are not norms to people that have been kind of stuck in a prison and traumatized for how many ever years while held there. And so we train just community people to volunteer, to walk alongside them and coach them and be in relationship with them through that transition. And males work with males, females work with females. We actually have a training coming up. I don't know the date, but it's on CCJ's Facebook, or you can let me know and I can look it up. So that's the work that we're doing in this community. And so people who might know me know that I've also transitioned recently, that I've been with CCJ for 10 years and I will support this agency probably for the rest of my life. But the work that we do, and as I've stood with CCJ through transition, we were more of a kind of a aligned with the criminal justice system. And as we have shifted back to functioning restoratively and being true to our mission and our roots, I have learned about the historic and systemic racism that our nation is built on, especially our criminal justice system. I have a personal story with the immigration system that demonstrates how broken it is, as if we don't all know right now stuff going on with DACA. Our systems are broken, and so I applied to go to law school so that I can learn more details about actual law, so I can help be part of dismantling the corruption and brokenness of our system. And so on my personal statement to law schools, I wrote that I'd like to go to law school to help dismantle our legal system. So I got accepted. And last week was my first week of class, and so I'm still at CCJ while they're transitioning and hiring somebody new. But it's an exciting time because the agency is like solidly rooted. We're somewhat financially stable, like we still need support and all of that for the community, but we're better than we were 6 years ago. And so it's great for someone new to take over with new strengths and vision. And we have a really strong candidate that hopefully that'll work out and it'll be announced once that process is done, and I can be present for her, him, in their transitions. So this is great. It's a great time for CCJ and this community. And again, I want to thank you for inviting me to speak, and thank all of you for your support of CCJ and the community at large. So thanks.
You'd be nice. So I've been doing homework all afternoon, but I noticed I started to melt down or like not focus. So I'm at the gym and I'll work out for a little bit and then I will go back home and do more homework. It's like a gremlin living in our house, I think, because Serenity's little flip phone is now missing and my title work from my car is missing, and I've searched everywhere and asked everyone and we can't find either. Like, the house is clean. It's not cluttered. We shouldn't be losing stuff. So this is making me crazy. So my day is ending as most of the day went. I'm finishing up studying, and luckily I actually was really productive today. I got a lot done, which is great because tomorrow I'll be in class most of the day. So, hasta mañana.